The red tape you're seeing all around Fort St. John on businesses, homes, and vehicles is no April Fool's Day joke. It's a sign that the community is getting behind Rob and Spencer Piquel's Red Tape Ride movement, which is meant to send a message to the government to cut the red tape and start making some decisions. And it's not just Fort St. John. Spencer Piquel's Facebook group for the event now has more than 41,000 people invited to it. People from all across the country have been showing their support by posting pictures and videos. To have it grow to something this big, all from a rant on Facebook about a country music festival getting canceled, is something Spencer Piquel can't believe.
Literally, I've been choked up sometimes, tears sometimes. It's so nice to see so many people. You know, it's almost heartbreaking to see so many and listen to the stories that they're sending to me and what their family is going through and how very on board they are with this, because you know, a few decisions from our government, good or bad, and we can all get on with our futures.
During our interview, someone drove up with red tape tied to their antenna.
More red tape, yay!
It was a Fort St. John resident who works in the gas industry whose future may be depending on the government making some timely decisions on things like LNG projects.
I like the message that we need to cut down on some of these processes to enable investors to get their projects off the ground.
The reason for getting involved is pretty simple. The economy is slowing down due to Ottawa not being active or proactive on events, and so we need them to get on board and get everything rolling. Cut the red tape. Let's do it.
I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, we're 100% a Canadian company. We're employee owned. I mean, all of us live and work here in this area. I mean, as a company, we've always been very community oriented. That's even from our head office down in Edmonton. So, I mean, I had employees come and talk to me about it and said, hey, you know, there's this drive going on. I mean, I'm not a big Facebook guy, so, you know, I don't really get too much into it. But when they said, hey, there's a need here to get involved in the community, we were more than happy to get involved.
As president of BV Land Corp, Brian Vermeulen says his job is almost literally to deal with red tape when it comes to things like permits for the Oil and Gas Commission. He says a movement like this is a long time coming.
I think it's the first time in 22 years that I've seen this much support as we're moving forward in this with this type of movement. This has never happened before up here at all. Kind of thing. Should have happened a long time ago, maybe, but you know what? There's a lot more riding on the table now. It's just not the depression of depressed oil and natural gas prices. The fact is, we're going to get that no matter what, but we still have a way to make it work for everybody, and that's the part that we can still do this even with the existing prices as they are.
For Fort St. John residents who depend highly on the oil and gas industry for jobs, it's not surprising to see the huge amount of support for the movement, especially with LNG projects facing stricter reviews from the new federal Liberal government. But what most people will tell you is that the support shown by Fort St. John residents is a little extra special.
You can't find a more loyal and more ambitious and passionate group than is in Fort St. John. And it's not just Fort St. John, it's all over. I'm a little partial because we're here, and because you and I get to see this right now, and how many people have come by with the red tape. It's awesome. It's absolutely overwhelming.
It's actually wonderful. I mean, I've lived in Fort St. John for 30-some plus years, and to see a lot of the support, whether it's the red tape, whether it's the truck rally they did a little while ago in support of the LNG, it's just been tremendous to see a community that, you know, in all honesty, I've lived in a long time, pulled together to such an extent. You know, really shows exactly how deep you know, these topics go with a lot of the people that are in these communities, and how serious they take it.
Some people know what the red tape is for, and actually some people who are working, say, at the Site C Dam, they're not quite sure, so they've been asking, they keep joking about it's at Christmas time again, but you know, we've had a good time to be able to say, hey, you know, really this is support of the projects that are in the area, as well as projects across the country that probably are suffering from some of the issues trying to get, what you would say, the red tape out of the way, right?
There's been a lot of support for it. We've got a lot of people buying the red tape, hanging them on the antennas, and supporting us and Fort St. John and BC.
I'm very proud of my country. I'm a little embarrassed by our government right now. And I don't want someone to say Canada is back. Canada's right here and you're watching it in its full glory. Go on that page and you will see that we are all united. We just want some answers. We want a government that stops politicking and starts governing and come on, let's settle some of these issues for people. We're hurting. This bus, like I said before, is very different than the booms and busts of yesterday. You know, it's hurting a lot more people, and there's always casualties, but this one is actually heartbreaking.
I should be ordering a lot more, and stuff should be flying off the shelves, and people shouldn't be losing their jobs. Now we have hope.
For Around the Peace, I'm Peter Houston in Fort St. John.